Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we are going to have a 1v1 on Langreskaya. Our heroes today are going to be Siberian, playing for the Soviets. Siberian, very well-known player, and very high up there. He is actually currently, at the time of casting this, ranked as 17th in the 1v1 Soviets. And his opponent is going to be SageOfTheSix, again, another well-known player who is also currently in the top 100 for the Germans, and he's going to be playing, of course, for the Germans. So anyways, we see SageOfTheSix laying down some wire with his pioneers, denying this cover on his cutoff, at least to begin with, and then wiring off this sector. We shall see where the wire heads, but interesting. As far as Siberian, we see him getting conscripts, you know, usual for the Soviets. We do see the combat engineers going to the left-hand side, and the conscripts heading into the center. SageOfTheSix did build his tier 1 with his initial pioneers, and has gotten himself a grenadier squad, which is for some reason not showing up here. It paused. Let's see if we can actually fix this a little bit. Hold on. We'll see the pioneers there. She's laying down some wire, and this is going to speed it up to about here. Now a little bit more. We'll just pause it there. Yep. Sorry about that. A little bit of a glitch there. For some reason it stopped the overlay, but well, we're in the initial game, so I guess it doesn't really affect it that much, but there, we should be in order now. So, anyways, we were saying that SageOfTheSix built himself some grenadiers, and it was a 2 grenadier opening. Oh, we can see here that Siberian and SageOfTheSix were both rushing to that house, but Siberian beat the grenadiers to it, and they are now on the wrong side of that house, taking some nasty fire from those 3 windows. MG42 is the 3rd unit out for SageOfTheSix, which is currently hitting the field. We shall see if that becomes effective for him. The Grenadiers are just running away from 2 conscript squads. We are now up to 3 conscripts for Siberian. And we see the other Grenadier squad over here on the right-hand side just capturing territory. We did end up seeing that the Pioneers wired off this entire approach, so that is at least taking care of one flank to that cutoff point until some wire cutters hit the game, or maybe a light vehicle. Conscripts in the center victory point, getting shot at by the Grenadiers by SageOfTheSix. MG42 setting up behind them, and it is in range of those conscripts, so it will be able to provide some supportive fire. The conscripts do just simply walk away out of the range of that MG42, however, and they're just going to go along their merry way. Grenadiers over on the right-hand side getting harassed by the conscripts. The conscripts are now sandwiched in between 2 Grenadier squads. The Grenadiers, however, are not moving against them. They actually decided to move to the left-hand side. Molotov landing right on top of those Grenadiers. Grenadiers down to 3 men. They do just run away towards the house. And we have 2 conscripts just minding their own business, capturing territory. So nobody's actually going to support this fight. These conscripts are going to recapture this point to allow these sectors to be reconnected to Siberian space. Grenadiers did move down to the south and cut off the left-hand side of the map towards Siberian, so that is going to be a little bit annoying for him. And the conscripts over here in the field point are pushing against the Grenadiers. Mortar now on the field for SageOfTheSix. A little bit of a combined arms effort there, landing some shots on these conscripts, although the conscripts do manage to dodge them without getting hit, but they don't manage to capture that point completely. MG42 taking some shots at the conscripts in this house. We also have the Grenadiers jumping into this house for some cover. And we see a 2nd Pioneer squad being produced for SageOfTheSix. Mortar squad, tier 2 down for Siberian. He's going to be able to dislodge these Grenadiers from houses and also make that MG42 have to move around if it doesn't want to get cleared out. Conscript did take some shot by that mortar. They did end up capturing that point and are now at 6 men. They are taking some shots at the Grants in that house, and the mortar is just still landing some shots on the conscripts. Conscripts in the house down to 5 men. We see a conscript squad uraing forward onto that MG42. MG42 did end up packing up, so it unfortunately cannot stop that conscript squad, and this other Grand squad gets forced off of the field. So everything is now off of the field for SageOfTheSix. Mortar, though, actually holds its ground. Pioneers on the left-hand side just capturing territory, while at the same time we have combat engineers with flamethrower recapturing that fuel point for Siberian. Siberian has now selected his doctrine, and that is the Shock Rifle Frontline Tactics Doctrine, which will give him, obviously, those shock rifles, but also gives him the option of a KV-8 and the IS-2, so quite a nice selection there of heavy tanks. Maxim machine gun hitting the field for Siberian. Again, a nice and interesting combined arms effort by both players, actually. Both of them having machine guns and mortars to supplement their infantry. Mortar rounds landing on the house, doing some damage to those forces, but they managed to just simply walk out of the house and continue on without taking too much damage. Left-hand side, we have engagement from the Pioneers and the Combat Engineers. Combat Engineers do have that flamethrower, so that's going to give them the edge against those Pioneers. One Pioneer does end up bursting into flames against that flamethrower and forces the retreat on those 3 remaining Pioneers. They will have to run through some Soviet forces, including potentially a Maxim machine gun. I'm pretty sure they'll make it out alive. The extra men on that mortar do take some shots at the Pioneers. The Maxim machine gun moves up forward, but is not set up to be able to shoot at it. It now sets up so the Pioneers will run through the arc of fire of the Maxim machine gun, take some damage, down goes one Pioneer, but again, they will be able to make it out alive just fine. Vehicle on the field now for SageOfTheSix, that is Tier 2. Flamethrowers getting upgraded on that half-track and going to town on those conscripts in the house. Down goes one conscript to that flamethrower burst. And they have to jump out of the house towards the other extras. One more conscript goes down before they manage to get out of the house, and the conscripts are just holding their position around there. 18-8s being researched for Siberian will help him out against that half-track, but that conscript is forced to back away because those 18-8s are still not researched just yet. Maxim machine gun also pushing back. Gren's just holding position, defending the cutoff for SageOfTheSix. And on the left-hand side, we have conscripts just capturing territory. They will not be able to go for the flank here. Well, I mean, they might be able to go up until the fence, but they won't be able to get to the cutoff point. Something got laid down by some Pios. Might have been the bunker. Yeah, it looks like it was the bunker. Flamethrower half-track getting rushed by the conscript squad Uraying to try to get an 18-8 on top of it, but very nice micro there. Backs it off, does a little bit of damage with the flamethrower burst, and forces those conscripts off of the field. Molotov landing on the Grenadiers in the victory point. They are actually standing in the flames for a little bit too long, and they take a lot of damage. Flamethrower pushing forward onto the Maxim machine gun. Maxim machine gun forced off of the field, having to retreat. And the conscripts are currently suppressed, not pinned down. They do get suppressed. Half-track pushes forward to do some damage with that half-track and forces again all the infantry out of the field. So currently Siberian has nothing on the field. All his forces are back at base. So SageOfTheSix has free reign, free roam to just simply capture territory on the field. Gren squad pushing forward. It's a 2-man Gren squad. Needs to get near that half-track to get reinforced. We do see some conscripts pushing forward with a mortar moving up to probably set up to take some shots at it. And we now see the Gren squad probably going to get reinforced. There he goes. Men popping out of that half-track. Conscripts do Ura forward. Going to get an 18-8 off on that half-track. There we go. 18-8 goes down. Give it that half-track bed 1. And the Grens are getting slaughtered by those conscripts, but with the half-track nearby, they are managing to stay alive as a squad because they are keeping the reinforcements coming. Half-track taking the second 18-8 to the face. Now very low in health, to about 20% health at the most. But it's simply just backing away, even with its damage engine. It is still relatively fast for a unit and should be able to dodge those conscripts quite nicely. Gren's pushing over to the left-hand side, going to go for that fuel point. We have a Pioneer squad back here on this sector. The conscripts are on the hunt, however, they are Uraying, trying to get to that half-track, and the half-track is not going to be able to get repaired. If the conscripts get off that 18-8, the half-track will go down, I'm pretty sure. And they stop getting a flame burst, but they are now in range for that AT gun. Down goes the AT gun, and boom goes the half-track. So very nice pickup there for Siberian. It did take a lot of losses in the process, but I believe it is worth it, at least in the sense that he now has the half-track to, you know, one less thing to worry about. Tier 3 now produced for Siberian. He's getting himself a T-70. That is going to be quite useful, quite brutal against SageOfTheSix right now. He doesn't have anything on the field to counter it. He does have a Panzer Grenadier squad, but Panzer Grenadiers would need those Shreks to get upgraded. Panzer Grenadiers rushing that mortar. They are going to do a lot of damage to it. Probably going to force the mortar off, and there we go. So instant retreat on the mortar. Going to take some damage on the retreat, but they're 6 men, so not nearly enough firepower coming down from those Panzer Grenadiers to be able to kill them on the retreat. Maxim machine gun getting set up to catch those Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers getting shot and not actually suppressed. They are going to get pushed by those conscripts. The Maxim machine gun does manage to get a suppression, and it forces a retreat on those Panzer Grenadiers, but not before they cut off that sector, denying that income for at least a little bit. Right hand side, we have a flamethrower engineer trying to catch that MG42, but the MG42 switches window and opens up on the engineers, forcing them down to 1 man. And here comes the T-70 for Siberian. T-70 will do a lot of damage. Obviously has to worry about those Fausts and the potential Panzer Treks on the Panzer Grenadiers, but that MG42 can't really do anything against it, and that mortar isn't going to help. And down goes 1 man on the MG42. MG42 taking a beating by that T-70. The T-70 not managing to kill anybody in the house, unfortunately. Mortar round landing almost on top of the MG42, doing more damage to itself than the T-70. The T-70 does take a nasty hit by the mortar, but down goes the MG42. MG42 does get killed off inside the house, so that weapon is now lost to the battlefield, so nobody can even pick it up. So, at least for Siberian, it's one less thing to worry about, and SageOfTheSix would have to recreate it or call another one in, basically, to replace it. Maxim machine gun moving over to the left-hand side, supporting that conscript squad, taking a nasty rifle nade to the face. Kills 2 of those crew members, but it does force away that LMG. Well, LMG Grand, that is. Maxim machine gun turning its face against its against the Grenadier squad that ended up throwing that rifle nade and gets a suppression. One of their men on that squad does manage to crawl out of the range, but with the other one in there, still going to be able to do a lot of damage. T-70 going up against those Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers now down to 2 men, taking a lot of damage to that T-70. And the T-70 is not going to pursue, doesn't want to risk it, it's already damaged, so it's a gamble if he pushes forward, so decides to leave those Grants alive for the meantime. Maxim machine gun on the left-hand side, pushing forward to capture territory, one of the beautiful features on Company Heroes 2, that you don't have to sacrifice the capabilities to fight inside those points. Conscripts pushing forward now at Vet 2, going to support that Maxim machine gun. Those Pioneers are now pinned down, so they're not going to be able to do much. Second Pioneer squad trying to maybe go for a flank, but the T-70 is just simply rushing onto the left-hand side, forcing away those Pioneers. Probably going to get a kill maybe on one of them on the retreat. No, it does a little bit of damage, but they managed to make it alive. Just a little bit of shrapnel on the legs, you know. Check it off. So Siberian has pretty much turned the game at this point with the inclusion of the T-70, but now we see that SageOfTheSix has produced himself a Panzer IV, getting tier 3. So that is going to be a nasty surprise for that T-70, but Siberian is expecting some type of vehicle on the field, and has himself an AT gun already on the field, ready to pounce on any tanks. Also, heavy mileage usage from Siberian, very nice. So if that Panzer IV takes a wrong turn, it's going to meet a nasty surprise and get crippled potentially and at the mercy of an AT gun. Conscripts getting pushed off of the field by the Panzer Grenadiers. T-70 is just in the center, harassing those infantry. And we have the Panzer IV over on the right-hand side, taking some shots at those conscripts. The conscripts might want to push on forward to get an 18-8 off, although they won't be able to follow it up, but it, you know, it's damage that you can lay down that goes towards your bed. Conscripts pulling away. LMG42 on those Grants, doing a lot of damage to them, and combined efforts by the tank. Conscripts back here trying to hold the line. Panzer IV also opening up on them. We have the T-70 in the center of the map, taking a nasty shot by the mine. The mine got detonated by the mortar. So unfortunately for the T-70, it is now stuck in a very nasty spot. It does have engine damage. Could potentially start moving away. I would actually suggest that, but it looks like it is a very heavy engine damage. And the Panzer IV is setting up to try to take it out. Can it actually do that? It should probably be able to do that. The vehicle repairs on the T-70 only managed to bring it up to about 20% health, and a shot by the Panzer IV finishes it off. So unfortunate loss there for Siberian, his own mine betraying him, but might actually be able to pick up a kill on Grenadier. No, the Flameburst doesn't manage to kill it off, so unfortunately there. Right-hand side, we see a heavy push from conscripts. 3 conscript squads pushing to the right-hand side, supported by the 18-8. And we now see that Siberian is... No, he's actually not getting anything. Okay. He did get a second AT gun on the field, so he should be quite safe against that, the Panzer IV. But yeah, so he is going to focus his efforts on the right-hand side to have the cover of those AT guns, while it's just sending something on the left-hand side. It's actually a Maxim machine gun, so quite interesting. We do have Teller mines from SageOfTheSix over here on the left-hand side. Interesting choice there. It's actually quite nice because since these barbed wires are here, it might be a appealing thing for Siberian to send a vehicle over on the left-hand side to try to crush that wire to open up the approach, and it would meet a very nasty surprise there. So yeah. Nice little thought behind that mine placement there. Conscripts getting shot at by that Panzer IV, but they are supported by that AT gun. AT gun takes a nasty shot to that Panzer IV in the frontal armor, and it's about down to almost half health. Probably 55, maybe 60 at the most. A little bit to the south, we see the LMGs on the Gren working on those conscripts. Conscripts now down to 3 men. Throw a Molotov on that LMG, and they get themselves vet 2. They actually do manage to force away that LMG, and the conscripts push on forward, throwing an 18-8 on that Panzer IV, getting a crit on the engine and bringing it down to about 40% health. But the Panzer IV manages to just simply back away and is now back at its base. Will be able to get repaired by the Pioneers because the AT guns can't really hope to get anywhere near. There are Panzer Grenadiers harassing those AT guns. The AT guns are just simply backing away, and we now have a KV-8 on the field for Siberian. That KV-8 is going to do a lot of damage to these Panzer Grenadiers. A little bit of lag there, apparently. And there goes the Panzer Grenadiers. They're running away, trying to get themselves out, and down to 1 man to that first initial flame burst. The KV-8 is going straight at him. Can he actually get the kill? Looks like they're a little bit too far away, so the KV-8 will not be able to finish off that Panzer Grenadier squad. But man, did that guy probably shit his pants. 3 of his buddies burning in front of his eyes, or well, behind his eyes, because he was running away when that happened. But 3 of them instantly to that initial flame burst. That KV-8 is just brutal. Flamethrowers, for the most part, it's just brutal in Company Heroes 2. They don't work exactly as they did in Company Heroes 1, so they are quite a sight to see. Pack getting produced by SageOfTheSix. A little bit of a extra bolster there to his anti-tank capabilities. The Panzer IV can't really be the only thing he has, and with those 2 AT guns, he can't really hope to take out the KV-8 on its own. More mines being laid down by Siberian. He still has faith in them, even though one of them betrayed him, but you know, they've proven to be quite useful in the past, I suppose. Conscript getting shot at by the LMG on that Gren. The KV-8 just moves into the zone and says, hey, what's up? And away goes the Grenadiers. The Grenadiers are actually getting toasted by that flamethrower. The KV-8 taking a nasty side shot by the Panzer IV. Second shot actually just bounces off, and the AT gun is just simply going to town on that Panzer IV, doing some damage, doing about, let's say 15% damage on that shot. So it backs away and is going to get repaired once again. Maxim machine gun opening up on Panzer Grenadiers, trying to push through the center. Bundlely landing on the mortar. The mortar just simply moves away. One of the mortar crew member might have actually died by a stray shrapnel from that bundle nade, sorry. Conscripts pushing forward onto that Panzer IV and the pack gun. We do see a bunker laid down by SageOfTheSix. He's actually quite fond of bunkers. We've seen him use them in the past. And interesting placement. I mean, it is set up there to essentially defend this approach to the cutoff point, and it actually works out in his favor right now. Not to say it would have been that big a deal, considering he only has 1 point on that side, but, well, he doesn't really have that many points, so I guess it is, you know, it is what it is. Maxim machine gun going to the left-hand side just to capture territory. We still see Panzer Grenadiers, the pack gun, and the Panzer IV laying down some shots on all the infantry on the front lines. AT guns taking some shots at the Panzer IV. Panzer IV taking a nasty shot to the frontal armor, bringing him down to about 75% health, 80% probably more correctly. The KV-8 is still on the field. It's just simply roaming around, being quite aggressive against the infantry. Conscript squad getting brought down to 1 man on the retreat. Vet 2 makes it out alive, so very lucky there. Flamethrower opening up on the Grenadiers. The Grenadiers are getting burned alive, down to 2 men. Do they actually want to stay in there? It looks like they do. The KV-8 does back off after taking some shots by the pack gun. Second AT AT gun moving up, probably going to try to artillery that pack gun. No, it just simply moves up to defend. Pioneers moving up against that AT gun apparently, but the KV-8 just moves into position. Nasty shot there by the mortar, probably the Soviet mortar. Although, no, it's actually, it looks like that was the German mortar. No, no, it wasn't. No, oh, sorry, it actually hit a mine. Never mind. It looked like a mortar shot, but has the crater there. And the KV-8 is now getting repaired. Mortar's just landing more shots on the Maxim machine guns. We actually have 2 Maxim machine guns on the field for Siberian, and he's using his second one to capture territory. Not what you usually see for heavy weapons, but again, that is one of the nice things about Company Heroes 2. Ooh, very nice conscript there. Actually rushes in and puts a foot on that victory point and stops the cap. So the Maxim machine gun just turns around, catches those grenadiers, and the points are now back in the favors for Siberian. Panzer Grenadiers pushing into the center. They are going to run straight into that KV-8. 2 of them burned instantly. Second 2 are pushing forward. It looks like they might be trying to lay down a bundle-8. Well, that was their mistake. They end up getting burned alive again by that KV-8. So KV-8 finally manages to get those Panzer Grenadiers out of action. Pack gun takes a shot at the KV-8. So the KV-8 turns around and gets back into the protection of his AT gun. We do have conscripts pushing up. Where's the combat engineers just simply laying down mines. They've been going to town on those mines for the entire game, and you can see that Siberian has a lot of munitions. Look at that, 240 munitions still left, even though he's been laying down mines constantly throughout the entire game. So very nice. SageOfTheSix pushing forward with his infantry. Gonna try for another push through the center. We now have a second Panzer IV on the field. Both of them are a little bit hurt right now. LMGs might have been trying to go for the mortar, but they do get pushed away by those conscripts. Conscripts now actually going for the cutoff point, although the bunker is in range a little bit. If they get themselves here, just at the edge, they might be able to capture it. Pack taking some shots at the KV-8. The KV-8 is now getting... No, it's actually not getting anything. Conscripts over on the right-hand side, Urain to try to get on top of that Panzer IV, but they do decide to retreat. One of them getting shot on the retreat. Oh, the combat engineers actually ended up getting killed by, apparently, the Panzer IVs. Might have actually detonated one of their own mines in the process, and their flamethrower bursted into flames, and down went the entire squad. Pioneers just capturing territory on the back lines. KV-8 now very battered for Siberian, calling down a incendiary barrage on top of that Pack-gun. Pack-gun gets cleared out, and the 2 Panzer IVs are now in the center of the map. They are taking some shots at these conscripts. The conscripts again pushing forward. We still have 2 AT guns. The AT guns are a little bit far behind. They're not able to get some shots at the Panzer IVs. The Panzer IVs do back off. KV-8 going over to kill these Pios. The Pios are now running away. They are going to run straight through a mine. One of them goes down to the mine, but it looks like the last 2 are going to be able to make it out alive. Flame burst doesn't manage to go off completely, and the Maxim machine gun on the left-hand side is simply holding the territory. Mortar still hasn't gotten recruited by Siberian. We do see the LMG Grants pushing forward. They might want to take that mortar, but I'm not sure if that's what they want to do. Maxim machine gun set up there to support. They are not. They're actually going to go straight for the victory point. They actually do decide to go for the mortar. They say, you know what, we're going to take it, and they retreat back onto the field. So that's going to help SageOfTheSix a little bit more. I mean, he does have 2 mortars now on the field. So with a third one, he's going to be able to lay down a lot of indirect fire, but, well, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how effective that's going to be, but, you know, it's something that Siberian is going to have to worry about. Do you see a recon run being used by SageOfTheSix, getting himself some surveillance on the territory, wanting to know exactly where all the units are. Maxim machine gun for Siberian is just utilizing this downtime to push on forward and get more territory. And the KVA needs to get repaired, but unfortunately Siberian still does not have any combat engineers. He was saving up the 4 and IS-2, that's why he didn't have engineers. And we now have an IS-2 on the field. That IS-2 will be able to, well, eat the Panzer IVs if he wants to. Probably just even run them over. So yeah, this is not good for SageOfTheSix. Conscripts taking some shots by that LMG. They are getting supported by the AT guns over here, taking some shots. And actually artillery rounds on the Grenadiers. Very nice artillery round that actually kills one of those Grens. And the IS-2 is now on the field taking a shot at those Grens. Down goes another one. One more shot should actually finish off another of them. IS-2, keep in mind though, is very slow to shoot. And actually that guy makes it out alive. Pack-on now on the field is going to take some shots at the IS-2. Actually doesn't even manage to get a shot at the IS-2. Mortars now pushing forward for SageOfTheSix. He's going to try to use those to, well, basically push on Siberian's lines. Panzer IV pushing forward. It doesn't know, apparently, that there's an IS-2 on the field. And the IS-2 takes a shot at it. Wow! Combined shots by the IS-2 and the AT gun. And that Panzer IV is now with a destroyed gun. And, well, a very dead almost. Down to a sliver of health. Second Panzer IV on the right-hand side is now getting harassed by the KVA. The KVA doing a lot of damage. Incendiary barrage falling right on top of that pack gun and the mortars. Mortars retreating, but the pack gun does get cleared out, allowing the IS-2 to just simply walk on to SageOfTheSix's base. And it is what it's going to do. The mortar is... No, the bunker is going to get focused down by that IS-2. The IS-2 taking some shots. Panzer IV, third Panzer IV now for SageOfTheSix, pushing onto that IS-2. The IS-2 is going to take some shots at that Panzer IV, but it does back off actually. The AT gun taking a nasty shot to that Panzer IV. It's actually Vet 3, and Vet 3 increases the weapon damage, so yeah, that was a nasty shot. Look at that, almost half damage by a single AT gun shot. IS-2 pushing forward, taking some shots at that mortar. We have that Panzer IV now finally repaired completely. Second Panzer IV moving up. We see a blitzkrieg being used on this Panzer IV. Takes a nasty frontal shot by that IS-2, doing about 40-30% damage. Nasty shot by that AT gun again, almost kills off that Panzer IV. Panzer IV down to a sliver of health. So Sage is in a lot of trouble. KVA could actually even kill off one of those Panzer IVs if it gets a chance. IS-2 pushing, pulling back, doesn't want to actually risk getting itself taken out. I mean, that is a 240 fuel investment that you don't want to just throw away unnecessarily. But, obviously we have the benefit of seeing the tanks. Two of them are so low in health that could be taken down quite instantly, but there is the risk of losing the tanks. So Siberian, obviously, way more experienced than me and way better player than I could ever hope to be. So he knows more than I do, and he decides that, patience is the key to this situation. Mortars for SageOfTheSix just moving up again, trying to set up lines to be able to bombard positions. Grens on the left-hand side, trying to capture points, but incendiary barrage getting called in by Siberian. Actually going to catch SageOfTheSix unprepared. He didn't actually know about this. And those... Oh, they're getting burned alive. He's focusing on another side, and he does hit retreat. Can he get it out alive? Ooh, barely gets it out alive on that Gren. Lucky shot there. MG bunker unable to open up on these conscripts. He doesn't actually have vision of them, and they're going to just simply take that point, cutting off pretty much the rest of the map for SageOfTheSix. Panzer IVs pushing forward, only two of them. The other one is currently getting repaired, but he decides he doesn't want to wait. The conscripts do manage to capture the point, and will probably end up retreating at the face of two Panzer IVs. IS-2 still getting repaired, almost full health now. KV-8 hasn't actually gotten repaired in a long time. And mortar shots just landing on top of where the conscripts were, but they're, well, long gone now. Mortar pushing forward to recapture that point, supported by the Panzer IV. Panzer IV on the left-hand side, just around there. And not a lot that Sage can do. I mean, IS-2 pushing forward, gonna run straight into those Grens, takes a shot at the Grens, down goes one Grenadier squad. The Panzer IV is not in range to support the Grenadiers, and the Grenadiers is just simply gonna get mauled by this IS-2. And there we go! One shot, down goes three of those Grenadiers, and one more squad lost for SageOfTheSix. He now has no Grens on the field, has a lot of Mortars and Pioneers. Still has that pack gun that he recruits, so the pack gun is a threat, obviously. But yeah. Panzer IV taking some shots at conscripts. Conscripts pushing forward, getting caught by that machine gun bunker. The pack gun pushing forward to try to dissuade that IS-2 from attacking. But we now see the KV-8 coming in for the flank on the pack gun. The pack gun is going to get decrewed by the IS-2 quite quickly. The IS-2... Actually, no, the KV-8 ended up taking it out. So the IS-2 is simply now going to focus on those Panzer IVs. I mean, Panzer IV taking a nasty shot to the side armor. Takes about, let's say, 40% damage. Second shot goes down. Brings that Panzer IV down to a sliver of health. And now 2 Panzer IVs are left on the field. The KV-8 did take a little bit of a beating, but still in a very healthy situation. Down goes the Panzer IV, and the AT guns are simply going to push forward. Pack gun getting returning some shots on those Panzer IVs. This Panzer IV is now Vet 2 getting those armored skirts, so it's able to tank that shot without any real damage. And the pack gun gets cleared off by the mortars, so yeah, 3 mortars are going to be very useful to clearing out units. Mortar on the left-hand side getting attacked by that IS-2. The IS-2 is going to, well, kill it off quite easily, I believe, although it actually misses that shot, so it's going to retreat and make it out alive. Panzer IV's retreating, going over to the left-hand side, it looks like. IS-2 is just going to town on everything. It's probably going to refocus on the second mortar. This mortar is actually Vet 2. Running recon, recon overflight getting called in by SageOfTheSix. We see the Panzer IV is going through the edge of the map. It looks like SageOfTheSix might be wanting to go for a little bit of a base race scenario, trying to force away the units by Siberian so that he can get the foothold on the map. But the Panzer IVs do run into the Maxim machine gun, doing a lot of damage to it, down to 2 men, but it looks like they might not be able to catch Siberian by surprise, and he's already moving his IS-2 to intercept. Also gets that pack on again and brings it back. And he's currently, in the lead with his victory points. Oh. Well, the reconnaissance plane actually ended up crashing over here on this side of the map. So, ow.
We are losing territory.
Sage doesn't seem to be able to catch a break. Conscripts pushing on those tanks. They might be wanting to go for an 18-8, but no, they decide to run away. One of those conscripts gets brutalized by the Panzer IVs, taking a nasty shot. IS-2 is set up there for defense, and the Panzer IVs are not able to do much. KV-8 decides to take this opportunity. Well, you have your tanks over on your over on that side of the map. Why don't we throw the KV-8 into your base and just clear off everything you have? Very nice by Siberian. That is exactly the response that he needed to do. I mean, yeah, SageOfTheSix lost this opportunity there to do a lot of damage. And, well, now the Panzer IVs are forced back into the base. And the KV-8 is just simply going to walk away and head back home. IS-2 being used here still for defense. Going to take a... Oh! Wow. Well, actually, no. Well, it looks like these guys laid down a mine and the Pioneers ran over them. So I thought the IS-2 might have actually killed them off. Although it could have been possible that the IS-2 killed them off, seeing as he could have detonated the mine himself, causing the engineers to die. But, oh well. Small losses at this point. KV-8 getting flanked by the Panzer IVs, taking a lot of damage at this point. Frontal armor manages to dodge some shots, but it looks like another mine gets detonated. I'm pretty sure this was another of Siberian's mines, so Siberian's mines have actually, been working against them for the most part in this game. Down goes the KV-8 for Siberian, a little small victory there for SageOfTheSix, but he has lost so much in this game. And this Panzer IV is going to go down to the IS-2. The IS-2, yeah, you can't really stop that even with your armored skirts. And with the AT gun there for support, down goes that Panzer IV. Second Panzer IV is hiding somewhere back here at base, trying to get repaired. Take some shots at the IS-2. The IS-2 is now down to about half health, but it has veteran C2. Another KV-8 gets called in for Siberian just to add more insult to injury. Oh my god, amazing shot by that IS-2. Clears out everything that SageOfTheSix has, including his Pioneers. And down goes the Panzer IV. And that's it. SageOfTheSix throws in the towel, and Siberian gets himself a nice, very nice win. So yeah, very nice. I gotta say, I liked Siberian's play there. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description below. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.